Hey guys, I wanted to kind of walk through here and kind of show you kind of a day in the life of what it's like to come through here, and to show you not to be discouraged, because like I said, you're not going to walk into the woods and just find arrows everywhere. You may have to walk through a quarter mile of brush and brambles and briars and dogwoods before you find even one arrow. And some places you may find 20 of them within a quarter mile or less, or in one patch. But I just wanted to kind of walk through the woods and show you kind of what a typical dogwood trek is like. And I'm starting off right here. Actually, somewhere in here. I found one pretty close to here, and I've already lost it. I don't even know where it is. It's kind of, oh, it's right here. There's so many, it's like a lion being in the herd of zebras, you know. They're everywhere, but you got to focus on one zebra, one little area. And see, there's one little dogwood right here. I'm gonna go ahead and grab it, and then I'm gonna walk on down a little further, and I'll show you kind of what the typical walk's like. Like I said, not every time, but most of the time it'll be something like this. I'm gonna go ahead and grab this one. Got it ratcheted off. Sorry, it's kind of hard to keep a steady camera in this brush. And I'm gonna come and cut her off right about there. Another thing is, when you cut these, a lot of times you'll have these little twigs on the end here. Used to be I'd cut them off flush, but I found that causes where you cut off the branch to crack, and it'll carry into your arrow shaft. So what I do is I will take and cut them off like so. I'll leave a little bit poking out there, just so that it won't split into the wood. It'll split on that little twig, but it won't split down into the arrow shaft itself. So let's do a little walkthrough and kind of give you kind of an idea of what you may be facing and going through, and to not get discouraged just because you don't go out and just trip over arrows everywhere, because it ain't gonna happen. So let's just kind of walk through this brush here. And right now, see, I'm walking through a dogwood patch. The majority of these little trees and shrubs in here are all dogwoods. Notice the red twigs on the end, see that? We're walking through a whole bunch of them. And I'm just kind of been at this long enough to know what I'm looking for. So I'm just kind of walking through, and that don't mean that I can't turn around and come back through and find 2 or 3 that I done walked through, that I missed. It's always good to walk through a patch. I've thought that I've got all the dogwoods out of a patch that I've been in, and for some reason felt led to walk back through it, and had walked by half a dozen that I didn't even see the first time. So don't be afraid to rework a patch, especially if you only have a limited patch to work through, because you may miss something. Okay, so I've walked 30-40 yards now, walked through about 100 dogwoods. Didn't see a single thing. I'm coming along. Oh, right over there. There's a potential. And you know, it may look good from a distance, but when you get up closer to it, it may not look that great. So I always get excited when I see a straight one. I'll go to run towards it, and even though knowing that tree's not going anywhere, but still, I just get excited when I see a potential arrow, and I believe this one's going to work out really fine here. To it. I don't know how the light is on this, if you can even see it, but this one right here that my finger just touched. See how straight that one grows? That's pretty dang straight for a natural tree growing. So I'm gonna go in here and get down. Now this is a perfect example to show you my saw. I was telling you. Get the shadow out of it. I'm sorry, I apologize, guys. I hope you can see this. But so you can't really get your ratcheting shears in there to get it down. You want to get as low as you can possible, so save as much wood as you can. So I'm gonna take out my handy dandy saw here, folding saw, and that's gonna enable me to come down here cut that off of there. See, without that saw, I wouldn't have been able to get this. I would have had to have come up 2 or 3 inches on that to actually harvest this tree. I'm gonna come in and do this number. Again, I apologize for my shadow. This is nature of the beast here. I like to do my dogwood hunting in late to mid-morning to even afternoon when the sun's directly overhead, because a lot of times if it's setting sun or rising sun, you'll be looking right into the sun and it's hard to see. You know, if you can imagine, if the sun's coming up or going down this direction, you wouldn't be able to see that good. So I like to hunt them in the afternoon when the sun's pretty much directly overhead. So that's why my shadow's right here. I'm sorry guys, but that kind of gives you a little taste of what it's like. You know, like I said, I walked about 50 yards and I found 2 dogwoods, and I probably walked through 150 or 200 of them. So, and again, you may walk and find 20 of them within 20 yards. You know, you don't never know. The main thing is just to stay alert and be watchful, because like I said, there's some patches that produce arrows and there's some patches that are just not even worth your time. So always expect the unexpected, and don't ever stay in a box, you know, just because a patch doesn't seem like it may not have an arrow in it. Always make sure, because there's always exceptions to the rules. Okay guys, well that's it for now. Don't be discouraged that you don't trip over them. Like I said, you got to hunt these things. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later.